Hi. Recently did a webinar on how to demonstrate responsibility, the mark of a leader. And we didn't record it, and people have asked me if I could summarize it or offer it again. So here's a 5-minute summary. Why is responsibility the mark of leadership? Well, let's start with two definitions. First, leadership is the action of taking ownership of some kind of opportunity, problem, situation, role, then mobilizing help. So it's two parts. And it starts with feeling a sense of ownership towards getting something done. There have been famous leaders who said, leadership is responsibility and nothing else. And what they mean by that is, it's all yours, baby. It's all yours. And if it's going to work out, you get to respond to everything. All of it. So, secondly, let's define responsibility. The way we use it with the responsibility process is that responsibility is owning your power and ability to create, choose, and attract your experience or your results. Now, when we're in the mental state of responsibility, we feel strong, we feel powerful, we feel bigger than any problem. When we're not in the mental state of responsibility, when we're responding to problems, we feel the problems are bigger than us. And we find ways to talk about them in terms of blame, justify, shame, and obligation. It ought to become fairly clear that we can only be leading truly when we are feeling strong and powerful and moving towards what it is that we want to accomplish or achieve. And when we're not, we're coping. So let's then talk about leadership and self-leadership. Is that 95% of all leadership is self-leadership, maybe 99%. And what I mean by that is that I see a lot of people who are in, quote, leadership roles, and they're not making a lot of progress, and they're really, really good at coping. I believe that when you are practicing responsibility, when you build a responsibility practice using the keys of intention, awareness, and confront, those keys will help you tap into your internal GPS guidance system to bring together what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what will support you. And this has been called the sweet spot when these things come together, and it feels so good. It's pretty darn difficult to be in that situation and be coping with a life that you didn't know how you attracted it, and you don't think that you can change it because you know that you can change anything. Now, let me end with telling you about a very specific standard of leadership when you practice responsibility. If you're a leader and the way you respond to problems coming to your desk or into your team or department is to blame or justify or respond with self-pity or respond by saying our hands are tied, there's nothing we can do, then what you're really communicating to your team is that there's no leadership here at all, that you're coping. If you want to set a high bar for yourself, that bar is to create a responsibility practice where you will start by becoming more aware. As you become more aware, your learning will go up. As your learning goes up, your real choices will go up. And when you have more choices, your anxiety goes down. And when your anxiety goes down, you're freer. And when you're more free, you can be more authentic. You can show up as who you really are. And when you can be more authentic, that's where personal power resides. Our world is addicted to coping. Trying to build a responsibility practice by yourself has been described as trying to quit smoking when living in a house full of smokers. It's challenging work. Every day, I see smart, ambitious, responsible professionals stuck in lives and jobs they don't want and think they can't change. My work is to support any leader and coach worldwide who wants to build a solid responsibility practice to change their lives and to lead themselves and others to freedom, choice, and power.